Alright, hello my lovely magical beings. How are you? How are you really? So we are back with another general reading. I pray that all is well with you guys. We're gonna get out a pretty good message that we all can learn from. Now a saying that came to my mind earlier before I dive into this reading is we only get what we see. You know, it's kind of like, you know the saying, what is it about the glass, either half full or half empty, you know? It's all about how we view things, you know? So if we feel like, or if it seems like everything around us is falling apart, you know, it's kind of like we have to stop and ask ourselves, like, okay, is everything really falling apart around me? Or am I just looking for evidence that things are falling apart? You know, am I looking for things to end up to be a disaster? You know, am I looking for things that are not perfect in my life? You know, am I focusing on my problems? Am I focusing on, you know, things going wrong versus focusing on the things in my life that is going well? You know, so yeah, it's kind of like a self-check. You know, it's like, are things really this bad in our lives, or are we just focusing on the bads? You know, so yeah, that's the quick message that came to me earlier. I don't know exactly who needed to hear that, but you know, a lot of times it's all about how we view things and how we view the people around us. You know, like when we go through things, you know, we think to ourselves, oh, people are not trustworthy, so that's how we see people. It's just like, are they really untrustworthy? Or is that all that we are expecting? Are we expecting to encounter untrustworthy people? Are we expecting to encounter cheaters and liars, you know? So it's kind of like the things that we manifest and see in our lives. Once again, it's like we have to stop and ask ourselves, like, am I thinking this into my reality, you know? Or am I focusing on this, which is causing it to seem like it's much more potent than it really is? You know, because we all have flaws, we all have made mistakes and have fallen, you know, short. And there's things in our lives that, you know, could be better. But it's like those things are our flaws or our mistakes or even our past, you know? It's kind of like, are things in our lives really that bad? Are our flaws really that bad? Is our past really that bad? Or are we just like kind of like over, what's the word? Are we over exaggerating it a little bit? You know? Because once again, we have these thoughts, we have these ideas, and we give so much power to our thoughts without even trying to. You know, we don't see it as, oh, this is just how I think about the world. Instead, we see it as, no, this is how the world is. But is the world really evil, you know, or are we just viewing it like that? You know? So, yeah, that's something that came to me. I don't know who needed to hear that, you know, but I myself, I thought about that, you know. It came to me and I got to thinking, you know, like maybe things aren't that bad, you know. Maybe, you know, what if I shift my focus on the things that are going right in my life, you know? What if I shift my focus on the good qualities that I notice about people, you know, instead of just noticing like the things that I don't like or I don't agree with, or I don't accept, you know. It's like, what about the things about those people that you do like, you know? It's like, no, this part of your life is not really cool, you know. It's not going how you want it to, but what about that part of your life, you know? So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the tarot, okay? But that was something that came to me, and that's a very important question to ask ourselves. Like, are things really this bad? You know, are people really as poopy as we make them out to be? Or is that all that we're focusing on? You know? You guys, this was my first time actually using the gel nail polish. I did it myself, and I used the kit. They say it's supposed to last for about 4 weeks, but I washed the dishes and it's already like starting to chip a little. I don't know if it's my fault or if I didn't put the layers on thick enough. I don't know. Anybody out there who, if you know, do your own nails and things of that nature, if you have any advice for me, okay, yeah, feel free to comment at the bottom. That was my first time doing it. I think I ended up doing the layers a little bit too thin, you know. When I wash dishes, you know. I don't try to scrub all cute and stuff. I just get the job done. And I need some polish that'll really hold me up, you know. Alright, so what messages do we have for the collective? What do we need to hear? Okay. Alright. What messages do we need to hear? But yeah, you know, it's kind of like a perfect example. If we wake up and we say to ourselves, I want to see a blue car today. When we go out there, all we will notice is blue cars. And we'll think to ourselves, like, I never even really noticed that there was that many blue cars out here. You know? And then the next day, if we focus on a red car, we'll see nothing but red cars. You know? So it's just like the things in our lives, you know, our arguments as frequent as we make it out to seem, or is that all we're expecting and looking for? Is it really that many untrustworthy people in this planet, or is that all that we're giving our focus to? You know, and it's just like, okay, so if I can put all my energy into focusing on the evilness that's going on in this world and things about people that I don't like, surely I can redirect my energy and focus on, you know, meeting those people who do have good intentions, those people who are pure and innocent and genuine, you know. Surely we can shift our focus, you know, because it's like whatever we put our energy into, it grows. It's kind of like the stock market, you know. You put your money in, you know, you can expect nice returns, but if you just put a penny in, you know, whatever we put our energy into, it grows. Kind of like a garden, you know. We put our energy into watering it, you know, making sure it gets plenty sunlight, using the proper fertilizer, you know. Whatever we put our time and energy into, whatever we nurture, it grows, you know. So if we're thinking to ourselves, okay, my relationship, it has gotten so bad, or my life has gotten so bad, you know, it's kind of like, has it really, or are we feeding into it? Are we paying that much more attention, you know? Whatever we put our energy into, it just grows, you know? So it's like, how can we shift our energy, you know? It's all about shifting our energy, and that's whenever we see the big change, you know? Alright, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, okay? I hope y'all can see that really good, okay? That's the King of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the Five of Cups here, okay? We also have the Knight of Wands, okay? I'm gonna see about getting us about 2 more cards. But yeah, it's all about that manifestation portal that I was telling you guys about. I forgot which video that was about. Yeah, I forgot which video that was. I think that was a video from like 3 or 4 days ago. But when it comes to manifesting, we can't put in too much energy, and we also, you know, like, we have to be mindful of the energy that we put into that portal. You know, if we're trying to create something, create a reality, and we're mixing hatred into it and fear, you know, our new reality, it would consist of fear and things that would anger us, you know. So we have to be very mindful of how we're carrying ourselves, carrying our energy, you know, and things of that nature. Because we are constantly manifesting. Okay, so if we constantly find ourselves in arguments with people, you know, we have to ask ourselves, like, am I expecting this? You know, am I feeding into this? You know, is this all that I'm looking out for? Am I constantly feeling like disagreeing with people, you know? Like, we have to stop and ask ourselves if we are manifesting this. Because things only happen in our lives when we manifest, you know? So if we are manifesting hardship after hardship after hardship, it's just like, okay, am I expecting this? Have I been telling myself that life is nothing but a hard knock? What is it? It's a hard knock life or something like that. You know, do I believe that life is hard? And if the answer is yes, maybe that's why I have encountered so many situations that left me feeling like this. You know? Life can only be what we imagine it to be. And I think a lot of times we forget that. You know? Because it's not like tragedies won't happen or arguments won't pop up, you know? But if that's all that we're focusing on and expecting, it just seems like it gets worse. Or it seems like it's more frequent, you know, more often. You know, more intense than usual, you know. We just have to be very careful with our thoughts and our energy, you know. We keep telling ourselves people can't be trusted, you know. That's the reality that we create for ourselves, a reality full of people that cannot be trusted, you know. And it's kind of like we get angry with the universe, like, oh, why do you keep sending me people that are untrustworthy and they're like this? And the universe is like, well, you know, this is all you think about. You know, this is all that you think about. All I'm doing is bringing to your attention whatever is aligned with you. So if you're in the energy of anger, you know, I'm just feeding you whatever you're nurturing. All I'm doing is bringing you more of that. It's kind of like whatever energy we in, it's kind of like that's our cry for, it's like we cry for more of it. So if I'm in the energy of anger for a long period of time, it's like that energy is telling the universe, like, I want more, like, feed me, you know, whatever energy we're in. But if we're in the energy of joy and happiness and gratitude, no, things are not perfect. You know, never that. But it's kind of like I'm grateful for where things are. I'm happy. I'm content with where I am in life. You know, I know that things are not perfect, but, you know, I'm going to make the best out of this journey. I'm going to have fun with it. You know, and if the universe sees that we're in this energy, it's like, okay, so she is in a fun and loving energy. So, you know, I'm going to feed to that energy. You know, I'm going to feed into that energy. But we have here this death card in reverse. Okay, so like I was saying right here, when it comes to this happiness, this joy that we're wanting to manifest, you know, the universe will gladly support this and bring us even more people in situations that would feed into this energy. But with this death card in reverse, it's kind of like for us to be in this energy of happiness, gratitude, contentment, satisfaction. It's kind of like we have to let go of some things, you know, whether it's people or, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, our thoughts, you know, because our thoughts are so powerful. You know, they're so powerful. Because look right here, you know, she looks like she's having fun, and it's because she's allowing herself to have fun. She's thinking to herself, like, this is really fun. But if at any moment she starts to think about things of the past, you know, that really got her down, that would destroy her whole happiness. That would destroy the music being played, all of that. you know. And I think we all have gone through those spells where we want to be happy, we want to be great, we want to live life freely, just filled with joy. But it's kind of like with this 5 of Cups, we fall back into that energy of well, that didn't work out, I hate that that happened. And just really thinking about the things that we lost or the things that went wrong, you know. And that's actually crazy because I can be open with y'all. This is a channel about being open and vulnerable anyway. But last night, I actually found myself crying, you know. And up until then, I was in this energy. It's really good, really happy, knowing that no, everything's not perfect, but enjoying it, you know, enjoying the journey, you know. But I found myself thinking about, you know, like losing my grandmother. That's what put me in this energy. You know, I thought to myself like, oh, you know, I really missed her. All that time is gone. I won't get to see her anymore, you know. And my thoughts put me in this type of energy. You know, so it's kind of like if we're saying we want to be happy, we're saying that we want to be stress-free, we're saying that we want to live a life full of peace, but it's almost as if at the same time we keep ourselves at nighttime worrying, stressing, thinking ourselves, well, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? How did that happen? Why did that happen? You know, we all go through it from time to time, you know. And you see how she's holding her head? This is where all of that starts, in our minds, you know. It's all about our mindset and what we feed into, you know. It's all about what we feed into. Because right here, you know, she's allowing herself to embrace those happy thoughts, you know. But right here, she starts thinking about the things that she lost, the people that she lost, the things that has happened to her in her childhood, all of that. It hits her. And I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but this right here, this Knight of Wands, is daytime in this picture, okay? These pictures right here, these are at nighttime. This is at nighttime, you know, or a little bit before nighttime, or even early in the morning, you know, when we're to ourselves. And a lot of times, like how this horse is right here, you know, it's like we're happy around, it's like we're happy around other people. As long as the sunlight is up, as long as the music is playing, you know, as long as we're dancing, all of that. But it's when we spend that time to ourselves, when we sit with those thoughts, you know, when nighttime comes, that's when everything that went wrong in our lives, it just hits. I don't know why we do that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about nighttime, but that's where all those creepy thoughts come. That's when our fears are at its highest, our anxiety, our worries, our doubts, you know, it all hits us at nighttime, or for some of us, early in the morning. And also with this King of Pentacles in reverse right here, y'all know the reading that I just got done doing, which if y'all haven't seen it, y'all should really check it out. But it's called, what was that one called? I think one of those videos were called "We Get to Determine How We Will Respond to This," you know. But with the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is kind of like whenever we're doing good, but those negative thoughts, they creep in, and we start slacking. We start not performing that well at work. We start not really doing what we're supposed to do. You know, we break our routines and things of that nature. For some of us, like if we're unhappy, we start like spending more money, you know, things of that nature, you know. And in that video, we get to determine how we will respond to this. I was mentioning that it's okay for us to feel how we feel. It's okay that certain things have happened, you know, but whether we perform well or not, you know, that's strictly up to us. You know, we get to control our behavior, not our stress, not our sadness, not our anxiety, our worries, you know, our doubts, procrastination. We get to have that last say so, you know, but I think a lot of times we forget, you know, because like right here, she's enjoying herself, she's happy, but then she shifts over to thinking about these thoughts, thinking about these things that hurt her, you know. But here's the thing, this is a behavior, this is an action, meaning that this is something that she's doing. One minute she was happy, she was dancing, enjoying herself, then the next minute she was crying and stressing and worrying. Those things are actions, those things are behaviors. And one thing about actions and behaviors is we get to control what we do. But I think a lot of times we think to ourselves that we don't have that much control. We think to ourselves, well, no, I can't control my happy and sad spells. I can't control that one minute I'm happy and the next minute I'm sad or angry. I can't control it. It just happened, you know. But truth of the matter is, we can, you know, because once again, these right here, she's holding her head, okay? She's holding her head. That's letting me know she's overthinking. She's thinking about things that are bringing her down, you know. She's reminiscing about how things used to be, you know. That's a behavior. That's something that she is doing. And once again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if we can think about these things, like if we can put our energy into thinking about the things that went wrong, the things that, you know, led to disappointment or failure, if we can put our energy into all of that, surely we can redirect that energy and put that energy into the things in our lives that are going well, and put that energy into the happy times, putting that energy into enjoying life. Yes, things have happened. Yes, we have lost people. Yes, we have been betrayed. Yes, those things have happened to us, you know. But whether we live a happy life or not, whether we live a successful life or not, full of joy, that is still our responsibility. If we have a day that ends up being like this, you know, it's kind of like we have to ask ourselves, like, who has control over this? Yes, those things have happened. Yes, it caused pain. Yes. But it's kind of like we get to decide at the end of the day if we will let those things that happen to us be the reason why we stop living, why we stop smiling, why we stop enjoying life. And, you know, we get to decide if we will allow things or people or circumstances of the past to stop this. But I think a lot of times we forget. We think to ourselves, this happened, it made me sad, so I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. I've been betrayed, it caused trust issues, so I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But here's the thing, we don't have to stay in this energy. We don't have to. We have a choice. We get to decide if we will continue to think about these things. We get to make that decision. But once again, we forget that we have a decision to make. We forget that so often. You know, we forget that. We wonder, I didn't have a good day. I'm feeling really sad, you know. Which nothing's wrong with being in this energy right here, you know. Sometimes it's necessary to cry and confront those emotions. But if we find our lives consisting of just this all the time, and we're thinking to ourselves like, why can't I just be happy? Why can't I just laugh more? Why can't I just get back to normal? Why can't I just live freely again? And it's kind of like, that's the problem. We're asking ourselves, why can't we? It's not that we can't. It's just we allow those negative thoughts to become a pattern. We get to control how often we will feed into that energy. You know, because once again, nothing is wrong with us thinking back over the past. Nothing is wrong with us thinking about those memories or thinking about the people that we lost. Nothing is wrong with that. It's actually really good. It's part of our healing process. But if we ever find ourselves too deep into that energy, or investing too much into that energy, that's whenever that energy starts to consume us, and we start to attract more situations to us that cause us this anxiety, fears, worries, doubts, hardships, you know. So it's kind of like pain, I acknowledge you. Anger, I acknowledge you. The person that I lost, I acknowledge you. That betrayal, I acknowledge you. But I can't let you control my happiness. I can't let you control my life. You know, or even if we had like a pretty tough childhood, you know, we look our childhood in the face and we're like, you caused me a lot of pain. I hear you, I see you. But I have to let go. I can't keep holding on to you because it's disturbing my pursuit of happiness, you know, my pursuit of a happier, better, and healthier life, you know. So it's kind of like, I just got in my head, like, kind of like, you know how like when you're breaking up with somebody, it's like, hey, you know, I enjoyed the time that we spent with each other, you know, and I still love you, but we can't be together, you know, stuff like that. And it's like we have to talk to those past situations like that, you know. We have to talk to our emotions like that, you know. Like anger, I hear you, I see you, and I thank you for the purpose that you served in my life. But now there's no need for this anger anymore. Now there's no reason for all of this pain anymore. I can go on and be free now. You know, I can visit you from time to time, you know, but I can't stay here. You know, I have a life to live. I have a purpose. I have a calling that I have to go, you know. I have to go. I have to let go, you know. And that's what this death card in reverse is about. But this is actually mentioning us kind of holding on, you know. That reminds me of this song by Tentacion. I think he said, I'll be holding on just to what is it? I'll be on the pain, I'll be on the pain till you're. I'm trying to think, how does it go? I'll be on the pain, I'll be on the pain just for you. I forgot what it's called, but the name of the song by Tentacion, XXX Tentacion, is called Jocelyn Floors. So yeah, y'all should really check that song out. But he was saying, I think he said, I'll be holding on to pain just to hold on, or something like that. You know, it's kind of like we try to hold on to the things that went wrong, like we try to hold on to the good of it by remembering how it made us feel. Like that's the only attachment that we have to certain people and things. So that's our only way of holding on. You know, perfect example, me losing my grandmother. You know, it's like I don't have her here physically with me anymore, but I do still have that pain here. You know, so it's like I subconsciously hold on to that pain because it's still a part of her. You know, it's still a part, like it's something that I have in my heart that lets me know that our bond is still there. You know, so it's like I don't try to, but it's like we hold on to those emotions, we hold on to those memories just so that we can get closer to that person or that thing, you know. But it's kind of like, and for some of you, if you did lose a loved one, it's kind of like our loved one is telling us like, you don't have to worry anymore, you know. You don't have to stay up late like this anymore. You know, you don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to worry about me. You know, you go on and you live your life, you know. And it's crazy because before my grandmother passed, she actually was in the hospital and she was away for a really long time. And I remember my daughter, she had a birthday party, and I called my grandmother and I told her that I really miss her and that everything felt funny without her. And this is exactly what she told me. Like, don't worry about me. You go on and you be happy. You go enjoy yourself. You know? And at the time, I got to thinking to myself, like, how? You know, how am I going to enjoy life without you? How can I go off and be happy without you? You know? Like, how do you expect that from me? You know, when you played a major part in my happiness. You know, but it's kind of like Spirit is letting us know, like, the same way we can sit here and be sad and cry is the same way that we can truly enjoy life. But it's kind of like for us to enjoy life and fully move on, we have to agree to let go. We have to agree to, you know, let ourselves be free. We have to give ourselves permission to stop worrying, stop asking questions, because the biggest question that I always ask the universe after she passed is like, why? You know, and because I didn't me personally, I didn't understand like why somebody with a heart of gold like hers had to, you know, pass away of cancer. You know, because all the murderers in this world, all the crooked people, I'm like, that cancer could have been given to them and they could have died of that. But like, why my grandmother? You know? So it's kind of like for us to live this happy life and to fully embrace this new chapter, we have to allow ourselves permission to let go of wanting to know why. Why did this person cheat? Why did they leave? Why did they die? Why did this happen? Why? We have to give ourselves permission to let go of those questions. We have to give ourselves permission to be happy. And you know, that's crazy that, you know, we have to give ourselves permission to go be happy. You know, because it's like a part of us is like, no, we're going to sit here and we're going to focus on what we just lost. And it's like another half of us is just like, I'm tired of feeling this way. I just want to be happy. You know? It's kind of like two separate people. Like if we describe ourselves as the person who wants to be happy, and the other half of us that wants to think about the things of the past of another person, we would actually get angry at that person. Like, why do you keep mentioning things that'll make me cry? Like, why don't you want me to be happy? You know, if it was anybody else, we would be mad at them. We would view that person as a player hater. But when we're doing it to ourselves, we think that it's okay. We think that it's normal to stop our own shine. You know, we think that that's okay. But It's really not, because it's already bad that we missed out on certain situations, you know, or opportunities. But it's like, you know, when we hold ourselves back and think about the past a lot, you know, we cause ourselves to miss out on even more. You know, we don't try to. It's like, once again, with that tunnel vision, when we're so dead set on one thing, like this, that, like, for instance, me losing my grandmother, me being so dead set on losing her, it just causes me to miss time with either my children or miss times with, you know, the moments where I can truly be enjoying life and being free. You know, it's like we waste precious time when we put our time and energy into things that break us down and hurt us. You know, if we keep thinking about the people who like betrayed us and things of that nature, all that does is just rob us of our own happiness. You know, it's like we steal from ourselves. We steal from ourselves happy memories, you know, happy times. We steal that from ourselves without even trying to. You know, there were several times in my life that I was supposed to be happy, you know, like my daughter's birthday that I mentioned to y'all. You know, I was supposed to be happy. I was supposed to enjoy that. But I couldn't fully get into it because I was stressing over my grandmother, stressing over losing her, you know. So it's like my thoughts of missing out caused me to miss out even more, you know. Whatever energy that we're in, the universe, it just feeds it, you know. So it's kind of like, okay, so if my life is being consumed with sadness and sorrow and anger and fear, you know, it must be because that's all that I'm focusing on. But this happiness right here, this joy, if I can put my energy and my attention a little bit more on this, you know, that's when we start to see a big difference, you know. And a really long time ago, I posted a video here on YouTube when I like first moved out here on my own about gratefulness, my new way of manifesting, something about gratitude or being grateful, newfound solution to ungratefulness or something like that. But I noticed that the more that I paid attention to the things in my life that made me happy and laugh, you know, it seemed like my life got lighter. It seemed like I was much more happier, or it seemed like things in my life were just going really good. I was in this energy here, you know. But it wasn't until, you know, when I crept back into this energy where I felt like life was just all bad again. It filled with sadness, but it's just like, no, it's really not. It's just that's all that I was focused on, you know. Once again, it's like looking at things from either an empty, like a half full cup or half empty. You know, if we're looking at it, you know, half full, it's just like, I'm almost there, things are going really good, we're making progress. But if we're looking at it as half empty, it's like, no, we're, you know, we don't got enough, we're gonna run out, you know, stressing about how we're gonna get more. Whatever we put our energy into, it grows. Same thing I said about the blue car, you know. If y'all want that, it's like y'all homework experience, which I've tried it before, you know. That's how I can prove that it's real. But, you know, if y'all want the homework assignment to wake up in the morning with a blue car on your mind, you know, that'll really help you to understand this reading. You know, if you have a blue car on your mind, as soon as you go outside, I guarantee you the first car you're gonna see is blue. You're gonna notice, like, I have never seen this many blue cars. Whatever we focus on, it grows, it multiplies. You know, so if we're saying to ourselves our life is filled with gloom and sorrow and arguments and hatred and betrayal, it's like, is it really? You know, Is it really that bad? You know, I did a reading for Aquarius like that. Like, is it really that bad? You know? Or is that just how we're viewing it? You know, is that all that we're thinking about? You know? Whatever we focus on, it grows. You know? So, if we're wanting a more peaceful life, a life filled with more joy and contentment and happiness and trust, we have to try our hardest to focus on that, you know. But it'll be a complicated process, because once again, we've grown so adjusted to thinking about things that have went wrong, you know. We programmed ourselves to look out for problems, you know. So that's why that's all that we see in our lives. You ever heard somebody say there's always something? You know, that will come from a person who always is expecting things to go on. That's their view on life, that something is always going to happen. You know, so is a man thinking, so is he or she. But, you know, whatever we want to manifest in our lives, we have to focus on it. We have to try our hardest to stay in that energy. If I want to attract more excitement and passion and happiness, I got to gear myself up. I got to focus on and do things that'll put me in that energy. You know, perfect example right here. She's dancing, she's listening to music, she's laughing, she's smiling. Sometimes we have to, that happiness, it has to start with us first. You know, for us to manifest that happy reality, we got to be aligned with it. Meaning that we got to be in a happy energy. So whatever we got to do to get in this energy, okay? Now, I ain't saying go out there and do no whole bunch of drugs and stuff, you know. But if that's your thing, you know, moderation. But we have to do whatever it takes to get in this energy, you know. And for a lot of us, it looks like the main thing we have to do is let go of these situations here. You know? But it's like whatever we let go of, we have to replace it with something else. You know, so me, for instance, with my grandmother, for me to let go of that situation, I would have to not so much as replace her, but replace the happy moments that I shared with her, with people that make me, you know, get in that energy of gratefulness and happiness, you know. So me focusing more on my family and spending time with them, you know, it would replace, you know, and it would substitute, I'll say that, because I will never be able to replace memories with my grandmother, but it would substitute, it will make up for it, you know, it'll make up for that, you know. But yeah, or to anybody, if you went through like a divorce, okay, or a breakup, it seems like the message from that person is like the same as if we lost a loved one. It's like, don't be sad, you know. It's okay for you to let go. It's okay for you to go off and be happy. These people want us to be happy. They want us to enjoy life, not sitting up worrying about them stressing and all that stuff like that. They want us somewhere happy because they're somewhere off happy, you know. So, yeah. But we have to allow ourselves to be happy. We got to put ourselves in that energy. You know, we got to manifest that. So whatever we have to do to shake it, you know, not so much as shake it, because I'm a firm believer that for us to actually heal from things, we have to deal with it, you know. So once again, nothing's wrong with thinking about these things from time to time, you know, because it's like the more we cry, the more we heal, you know. But we have to make sure that we're not staying in that energy. You know, it's kind of like imagining yourself if you became a billionaire, you know. You're not trying to stay in the same neighborhood. You're not trying to really hang with the same people. But from time to time, you may come back and visit, you know. But you don't intend to stay here. You know, if you become successful and have a lot of things going for yourself, you know, your intention is not to stay there, but to just visit. Okay, so it's kind of like we have to view our sadness and anger and things of the past the same way. It's like, I'm in this type of energy, I'm in success, I'm in the energy of happiness, triumph, you know, achievements, you know. And from time to time, I can come back and visit this energy, but I'm not trying to stay here. I got other things to do. I got better things to do than to sit here worrying, stressing, crying. You know, me personally, you know, the time that I spend crying over my grandmother, I could be spending it like playing with my daughters and hugging them tightly, you know. But we rob ourselves of moments to be happy because we're so focused on that pain. We're so focused on those things of the past that hurt us or angered us. Our life starts to become consumed with that energy of frustration and sadness, you know, and anger. And it's because we let it. You know, life is only what we think of it to be. If I'm telling myself life is hard, you know, surely it will be that. Not because it is that, but because that's the only way that I view it. That's my perspective. That would be my perspective, so that would be my reality. You know, same thing with the glass cup. You know, you could put that same cup in front of two different people. One person will see it as half full, and the other person will see it as half empty. The person who sees it as half full, that's a person that's focusing on the goods. You know, but the person that's like it's half empty, you know, that's this energy right here. Yeah, nothing is different about that cup. It's the same cup we're talking about in front of two different people, but it's their perspective on that cup. Same thing with our life, or our relationships, our friendships, our family. If we focus so much on the problems, yes, those problems are going to seem so much more bigger than they really are. But if we take a minute to look at the good qualities of our family members, or our spouse, of our girlfriend, boyfriend, children, you know, when we start to take time to look at the good qualities, you know, that's what will bring us joy. And us being in the energy of joy, it will cause us to manifest even more of that into our lives. You know, so it's kind of like, I really want y'all to read or listen to the audio book of The Game of Life and How to Play It. You know, life, nothing is wrong with life. It's just all about how we view it. You know, for us to change anything in our lives, we have to change our perspective. If we're saying that our life is full of hard knocks, you know, and hardships and things of that nature, you know, if that's how we view life, that's just how it will be. Not because that's what it is. That's just how we view it. That's our perspective. So as a man thinketh, so is he. You know? So if we're asking ourselves, why can't I just be happy? Why can't I just be free? It's because we think that we can't be happy. We think that we can't be free. We keep thinking about the things that, you know, pull our spirits down. We punish ourselves. We pull ourselves down. I told y'all once again, if we imagine this energy as a completely different person, which, you know, I could be talking to people who, you know, maybe you're doing really good, or you have goals or dreams, or you're really ambitious, and you have people around you who they may be thinking about or talking to you about the things that could go wrong, or, you know, kind of like the movie about MOANA. I'm gonna keep mentioning that movie because I absolutely love it. But with MOANA, she was, I think she was gonna become the next chief or whatever in her island, and she kept being drawn to the sea. But her dad told her not to go out to the sea because he lost his friend out there. His friend died, you know. So because he was grieving, because he experienced a disappointment or a failure and a loss, he put that energy onto MOANA. He stopped her, you know, but she listened to herself anyway, and she went out there. Okay, so I could be talking to somebody who, you know, you have in mind what you want to do, but you have the people around you like, oh, well, when I did that, this happened, or, you know, and they just speak a lot of negativity into your manifestation portal, you know. And it's the same thing if it's an internal thing, same thing externally. We have to be careful what we feed into. You know, we have two choices: to feed into the positivity or to feed into the negativity. You know, but it's kind of like the video I just got done uploading, you know. We can't blame anybody but ourselves if we don't, you know, do something or not. We get to determine how we will respond to this. That's the name of that video. You know, you can have naysayers. You can have people who, you know, maybe when they tried to open up their business, okay, maybe it failed, but that doesn't mean your business will fail. You know, maybe when they got married, they ended up with somebody abusive or a cheater or a liar, and they got a divorce, but that don't mean that you will experience that in your marriage. You know, and I think a lot of times when we go to getting advice from people, that's why we have to be very careful with who we get our advice from, because everybody can only give advice from their level of experience. So if you're dealing with a person who has encountered a lot of disappointments and failures, you know, it's like that's all they know. So that's just how they expect things to be in their own personal life and in yours. So once again, if they failed at business multiple times and they stop trying, they see you trying to open a business and they're going to automatically tell you that it's not going to work out because it didn't work out for them. They'll tell you that it's a waste of time just because they felt like it was a waste of time for them. They gave up, so they're expecting you to give up as well because they feel like that's what's best. You know, so that's why me personally, when I get advice, I make sure I get it from people who are happy, you know, people who have not given up on themselves, people who have a healthy perspective. You know, because if you're getting relationship advice from somebody who's really bitter and single and they hate people, you know, of course they're going to tell you like never get married, screw these people, you know. Of course they're going to tell you that because that's their perspective. You know, me personally, I tell people, you know, to make sure that you're happy in your relationship or marriage, which is not always about happiness, you know, but like as long as you're not being like abused and your partner is treating you, you know, with respect, you know. But I do tell people, like, if you're being mistreated, you know, and things of that nature, I do encourage them to leave, you know. But yeah, we just have to be mindful of the company that we keep and also the advice that we're getting, because she has something really good for herself or she has something really good brewing, you know. But if she gives into her own negativity or the negativity of the people around her, that would end up messing up something really good, you know. And I just got done doing a video about that. Okay, y'all should really check that video out. But it's called We Get to Determine How We Will Respond to This. You know, you can have naysayers, you can have people give you bad advice, you can have people, you know, try to discourage you and scare you, you know. That's okay. You're gonna have people like that, but it's up to us if we decide to feed into that or not. You know, it's like, I hear you, I understand your perspective, I understand that your business didn't work out or your relationship or marriage didn't work out, but that doesn't mean that mine won't. You know, and you have some people who will purposely give you bad advice just so that you don't have a happy life or a happy relationship or a happy marriage or a business, you know, or whatever your goal is, whether to get a house, a car, whatever it is. You have some people who are very unhappy with their own life that they refuse to see you be happy with yours. You know, but once again, that's okay. Because at the end of the day, we get to decide if we will feed into that or not. We get to decide if we will get happily married or not. We get to decide if we, you know, will go forth with our passions or that life that we want to create for ourselves. That's not up to those people. It's not up to the naysayers. It's not up to them. You know, so if we did get bad advice from somebody and we missed out on the opportunity, who is to blame? The person who gave the advice or us who accepted the advice? You know, because people can give us advice all day long. You know, or people can try to pull us down all they want. You know, that's just people. That's what, you know, that's what some people do. That's just something that they do. You know, but whether we continue to fight, whether we continue to get up and go strong, that's our responsibility. And we can't get mad at anybody else if we miss out on an opportunity out of fear or trying to listen to what the next person has to say. But yeah, the same way we can put our energy into doubting things and procrastinating, we can put that energy into encouraging ourselves and, you know, putting energy into the things and the people that do make us happy. You know, whatever we feed into, whatever we nurture, whatever we focus on, it just grows. But we have to try our best to remember that, you know. So it's like the main question is, what in our lives do we want to grow? You know, for some of us it'll be passion, excitement. For others of us it'll be, you know, to have more genuine people around that we can trust. You know, whatever the goal is, whatever our idea of a happy life is or a successful life, you know, we have to put our attention and our focus on that. You know, it'll be complicated trying to manifest a lifestyle of happiness if we're just focused on the things in our lives that have went wrong, you know. That'll be a very complicated process. It's like trying to move on to chapter 2 but not fully reading chapter 1, you know. So yeah, this is a reading that's all about, you know, us shifting our focus, shifting our energy, you know, towards what we want to manifest in our lives, you know, and, you know, realizing that we do have power over the life that we live. We have power over if we are happy or not, you know, but sometimes we seriously do forget that. We really do, you know. We think to ourselves that because certain things have happened that we're supposed to be sad for the rest of our lives, or we're supposed to be miserable or bitter or angry for the rest of our lives, you know. But we get to choose how it will be. We get to choose that. Not our childhood, not an abusive ex, none of that. We get to choose how we will be, what type of life we will live. That's solely up to us. You know, so it's like we're not living a happy life. Whose fault is that? You know, what are we doing that's causing us not to live that happy and free life? Are we stressing? Are we worrying about things that are out of our control? Are we worried about the past? You know, it's all us. Nothing's wrong with what happened. You know, we all go through tragedies and loss and failures and disappointments, you know. But whether we get up and continue to live, you know, that's a personal option and choice that we all have to make. That's a personal decision that we have to make. You know, God can't make that for us. You know, God can put a happy new beginning in front of us. But if we're still just focused on the past, and, you know, God can't force, you know, things onto us. All he can do is kind of like the video that I just uploaded. How can we receive this? You know, if we're too busy, you know, busy focusing on things that, upset us, you know? How can we receive this happy new beginning by the universe? You know, how can we accept that if we're still in that negative energy? So once again, life itself is not the problem. Our thoughts, what we think about, how we feel, and how much time we spend thinking and feeling like that, that's the problem, you know? We are our own distraction. We are the reason why we're not living a happy life. You know? But from time to time, we get into our comfort zone, which is blaming things and people for why we're not happy. Because I could easily say, oh, I live a sad life because I lost my grandmother. And that would actually make my grandmother upset to hear that. Like, what do you mean you live an unhappy life because I passed? You know, I'm not the reason why you're unhappy. You know? There are some things we can't control. But we can control how we will respond. We can control if we get up and try again. We can control if we get up and continue to laugh and smile and enjoy life. That is up to us. You know, we do have what it takes to live that happy life. We do have what it takes to smile again and laugh again and be our true, fun, funny selves, you know. We can get back to that person. Yes, we can. But we would have to let go of some things or some people. And a lot of times it's letting go of negative thinking patterns. Letting the past be the past. Letting that disappointment be a disappointment. Saying, I acknowledge what happened, but I can't let this control my life. I acknowledge that tragedy. Yes, it caused me a lot of pain, but I have to keep going. I have a whole life in front of me that God is blessing me with. He's trying to hand me a new beginning, and I want to accept it, but I can't accept it with full hands, full of baggage and garbage and things that no longer serve me. You know? So it's all about letting go, giving ourselves permission to move on, to accept things as they are. It's okay to cry a little bit along the process, you know. That's okay. That's part of our healing. But it's like when we get done crying, when we get done being angry, it's kind of like in the Bible how I mentioned never to go to sleep angry or something like that. It's like it's okay for us to feel how we feel. Be sad, be angry, yell if you need to, all of that. We can do that. But come suntime, you know, come morning time, we need to be in a different energy. We need to be excited about our day. We need to look forward to it. You know? Once again, if you become successful or something, you're not going to want to stay in your same neighborhood. You would just come to visit. You're not trying to stay there. That's the same thing we have to tell these situations in our past. I acknowledge you. I see what happened. I get it. You know, but I can't stay in this energy. I can't stay being unhappy. I can't stay right here. I have a life to live. I have a purpose, a calling. I gotta go. You know, I can come back and visit later. You know, we can cry a little bit later on tonight. But right now, I have a life to live. You know, I have things to be grateful for. You know, but yeah, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Just know that I love you so much, and we have so much to be grateful for. We have so much to look forward to, and Spirit is wanting to offer us a happy new beginning, you know. But for us to accept that, we have to declutter. We have to let go of some things to make space, you know. And we have to also watch where our attention is being shifted to. Whatever we focus on, it only grows, okay? So it's a process. Just know that y'all are not alone. We're in this together, and we do have what it takes to live a happy and successful life, regardless of what has happened, okay? So, alright, I'll let you guys go. Until next time, toodles!